So I'm in complete shock, and I don't have any answers. This morning, when I was giving everybody their carrots in the morning, I went to give Rufus his piece of carrot, and I found him dead. He was laying down on his side, and he had passed, and I don't know how long it had been. Last night, I picked him up, I held him, and I cuddled him, and, you know, he seemed okay. He still has a vet appointment for Wednesday. I don't know if I should do a necropsy. He has this lump under his chin. Well, it's not under his chin, it's on his neck, and it's the size of a large grape, which I just discovered the other day. Did he die of a broken heart from feeling sad and confused and missing Grizz? Or is it just a bad coincidence that this lump could have been lymphoma, or it could have been some cancerous thing? Neither one of them showed any signs of any contagious disease like a respiratory infection or anything like that. I'm still in shock. Rufus ate half of his cucumber slice. It's a pretty big slice, and he ate half of it last night. And he seemed okay. Like I said, he's been losing weight. I don't know how old these guys are. They could be 5. I can't imagine that they would be younger than 4, because they seemed like they were at least 2 or 3 when I got them. But I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just in shock. And where I was sad about Grizz, I'm still really sad. There was some closure or some clarity, thinking that this had to be some internal tumor. But now with Rufus passing, it just opens up all these can of worms. Was there something? Could they have both had some illness and passed it to each other? Or, like I said, I didn't see any. There was no signs of a respiratory illness, no runny nose, no breathing issues. Their appetites were good. Rufus wasn't eating as much. Since Grizz died. So I don't know if grief was a factor, or if there was something going on, like if this lump was lymphoma, Now I could take him for a necropsy, but that would be three days away, and probably cost a couple $100 at least. And it might provide closure, but it won't bring them back, and it wouldn't change anything that I would do differently with any of my pigs. I'm here. I pay attention to them. I know the signs and symptoms of common illnesses, and I can usually catch them. That's what was so surprising about this lump on Grizz, because I pick Grizz up constantly, but it was right here. And you don't really always grab your piggies by the throat. You feel them, you feel their back, you feel their bellies, you feel their side, but reaching up on their throat like that, so now I'm playing this game. What could I have done? What did I do wrong? What did I miss? Is it a coincidence? But I will always share my feelings. It's funny because I was going to make a video today with Rufus about grief, about loss, about the bonds we have with our piggies. There was a whole bunch of ideas because I got a lot of messages, a lot of very kind words and well wishes. And in addition to the condolences, many people responded positively to what I had to say about why we do this work and the bonds that we have with our piggies. One thing that I wanted to talk about was, when you lose a person, a human, friend or family, in most cases, you've developed a relationship, and a lot of it is based on shared experiences and conversations you've had, and shared values, and so the loss and the grief and that relationship is built on a lot of communication, a lot of shared telling each other about experiences and stories, and it's this verbal communication as well as just shared experiences. But with our piggies, because we can't talk to them, I mean, we still talk to them, but they don't talk to us in our language. They do talk to us for sure, but a lot of our relationship is built on this nonverbal communication. And in some ways, I'm not trying to compare the loss of a friend or family, a human, to the loss of a pet, an animal. I'm not trying to say which is greater, because they are different. And love is love. But I had this thought that there's something about a relationship that is, a lot of it is based on this non-verbal communication. And so there's no filter of the language. The relationship is in a lot of ways, and the word I'm thinking is purer, but it just unencumbered by language. And there's something about that makes the bond really strong. And it goes both ways. You know, I talk to my piggies, but I also, when you hold them, a lot of that relationship is through touch, through eye contact, through the giving of treats, through care, and then especially during illness. When you're caring for a piggy that is sick, even more so, you're spending so much time with them, looking and listening and paying such close attention to them, that bond gets really strong. I wanted to talk about that and think about that and investigate that, and I wanted to do it with Rufus and sit here and hold him. You know, the thing with piggies that are bonded, especially since Grizz had his mobility issues and Rufus was aware of them, and they had such an interesting, funny, sweet bond. Grizz would even chase Rufus, and I said before, try to hump him or rumble at him, and Rufus, being so much faster and more mobile, could run circles around him, but still Grizz would sometimes get the upper hand. And so when you have a piggy like Rufus that seemed to understand the challenges that Grizz was facing, and they still had this sweet bond, and he would look out for him and not gang up on him, and I came to appreciate and really respect him. And so when we lost Grizz, I was really worried about Rufus. And I was just, I kept checking on him, making sure he's okay, giving him extra treats, holding him, petting him, talking to him, telling him that it's okay. I let him have some play dates. I was thinking it'd be nice if he could get along with Gizmo, because they're both these old dudes. Rufus was a little too aggressive with Gizmo, and Gizmo started chattering his teeth, so it wasn't going to work long term. I let him play with Timberland. I'm just It's such a shock. I'm really sad. And it's not about me, it's about Rufus, and I think I let him down. And I don't know if it was just some bad coincidence or if there was something that I missed. And for sure, after I discovered Rufus was gone, I went and checked all my piggies. I mean, that's what I was doing. Everybody gets a little piece of carrot in the morning so I can look at them, so I can make sure that they want their treat, that they're eager, that they have energy, that they're not feeling bad. That's when I discover that they're not feeling well, if that ends up being the case. And that's why I give them a small treat in the morning. So everybody is doing fine. But you know, Gizmo's old and he's lost weight and he's got the arthritis, and Pipsqueak is 7.5 years old, and although he seems to be doing really great, when you've got these senior piggies, you come into the room in the morning and there's a part of you that worries and wonders, is someone going to be gone? Especially when guinea pigs sleep sometimes like they're dead. I'm really sorry that I have to give this news. I'm embarrassed, and I wonder, what did I do wrong? So I don't know. And I still don't know if I should do a necropsy, if it's even viable after a couple days. I could find out. I could call the vet and see what they think. Because I can't. My vet is 2.5 hours away, so I would plan to go when I volunteer, but that's not for a couple days. I don't know. And I don't know if there may be some closure, but it wouldn't change anything that I could do or anything that I would do in the future. I don't know. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I'm really sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But I know that you deserve to know, especially after everything that's happened. So I hope to get to some more positive videos, some informative videos, and making some guinea pig care videos that hopefully can catch the eye of new piggy owners so that they can learn about proper care and end up having the best experience with their piggies, because that's what it's about. So that more piggies don't end up in shelters and dumped out on the street, and that more people can see them as the amazing, awesome animals that they are. and that despite the sadness when we lose them, having them, it's a gift, and they're really special. All right, that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you for understanding.